welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara Breen. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Tiff Stevenson and Rob Beckett, Ramesh Ranganathan, Hugh Dennis and Miles Jupp. We start with a round call. If this is the answer, what is the question? On the board are 6 categories. Tiff, which category would you like?
I'll go for home news.
OK, home news is the category. The answer is 1/3. What is the question?
Is it how much of a bottle of vodka I'd have to drink before I found Lewis Hamilton even vaguely interesting?
Is it how many of this week's news stories lend themselves to comedy?
Yeah. It's been that kind of 3 weeks, really, hasn't it, Andy? Yes.
Is it how much of Greece can you buy for £1?
Is it how much of Kim Kardashian is made up of arse?
Is it, of all of the children that I taught maths to, which proportion of them genuinely had a future?
Is it what emoticon would I use to tell someone that I've wrapped a rubber band around my scrotum?
Is it what I'm always missing from a threesome?
Is it FIFA's target survival rate for stadium workers at the World Cup?
Is it, according to legend, how much of you is your head?
Yes. It should be noted.
I'll tell you what it could be answered to. What proportion of that team have I seen completely butt naked?
Yeah. Can we... Are there any who've got any answers to a question? I feel like answered it asked for 10 minutes.
Is it how many of the words spoken by Kanye West are about Kanye West?
The way you pronounce Kanye West is incredible.
Well,
it's like you're asking somebody if they're able to West. Like...
Is it think of a fraction that rhymes with the word bird? Is it think of a fraction that rhymes with the word herd?
No.
Is it think of a fraction that rhymes with the word interred?
No.
Is it think of a fraction that sounds funny if you say it with an Irish accent?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was waiting for you to do. Yes. Think of a fraction that I say is 1/3.
What a funny country.
Isn't it?
You're not on Radio 4 yet.
I do. This is genuinely the correct answer.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
What proportion of the works planned by Network Rail have already gone wrong or over budget?
There absolutely is the question I was looking for.
I wouldn't have got that, mate. I wouldn't have got that.
Yes. The question I was looking for was how many of its targets has Network Rail already missed 1 year into a 5-year rail improvement plan? This is the news. The large part of a £38 billion project to modernise Britain's railways has been put on hold as a result of delays, missed targets and overspending. How bad is the situation?
The one thing that I don't know how many of you use the train all the time, but it is such an infuriating service, and so infuriating, that if you go to any station, they have signs up telling you that they don't accept abuse of the staff, of physical or verbal or whatever. They are offering a service that is so shit, they have to remind you not to kill members of their staff.
So basically, 30 years on, we've realised privatising the National Rail Service wasn't the right thing to do, was it? Nice one, Thatcher. Politics.
Really good. Man. I wouldn't like to be Margaret Thatcher right now watching this show.
Not all of the money that we put in actually goes to improving the rail services. Some of it goes to improving people like Richard Branson, who's in fact had so much of our money, his firm shouldn't be called Virgin, should it? It should be called Slag.
guy that they've got to take over, because they sacked the network chief, didn't
they
they?
did,
And they
yes,
replaced him with a guy called Sir Peter Hendy, right?
Yeah.
And they've put him on $500,000 a year salary, and his instructions is to get a grip on the spiralling costs of improving the rail network. How is he going to know about money management, right? His grandfather was a baron. He's from an estate, not that kind. It's kind of like hiring 20,000 pigeons to work out why Nelson's column is covered in shit.
Here's another tip. You know, if you're going to be head of the railways, don't dress up as a fat controller.
In sports news, who denied cheating before Wimbledon had even started?
This is Novak Djokovic.
Yes, it is.
Who had been accused of being coached during matches. And you're not actually allowed to be coached from the sidelines during matches. This was actually a rule brought in to protect British players during Wimbledon, to prevent them getting worse during the actual games themselves.
How's it cheating, telling him what to do? What is he telling him he don't even already know? Going, oh, what you want to do is...
You've got to say
no, but
different
hit it
things.
back really hard where he isn't standing. Cheers, mate. I didn't think of that. Thanks.
There's always loads of cheating in tennis, though. I remember once I saw a man who was actually keeping extra balls in his pocket.
Wimbledon's so posh, though, because even the ball boys have the balls posh. When they pick the balls up, they just go... What's that? Why can't I just throw it back to him? He gets the ball, they go... What's that about? The thing is, I love if the ball boys, if they had done like jury service where anyone just got picked at random to do it, rather than all these little like, posh kids just like a rude boy just going, I'll leave it out, bruv, I ain't getting your fucking ball. 30 degrees, bruv.
How might this tournament make history?
Heat wave.
Yeah, heat wave.
See,
It may be the hottest
I-
ever, yes.
They're so hot, they're advising nans just to wear one coat. Pretty warm.
The Wimbledon authorities apparently are going to take extra care of the elderly in the crowd at Wimbledon. But obviously not the same at Glastonbury, is it? There they make the elderly actually go up on stage.
I love it on the weather when it's hot. They always go, oh, Hull is actually hotter than Marrakesh. You go, I'm still not going there on my holiday.
In other news, who is a big hit with Japanese women?
Japanese men.
No, actually, surprisingly.
Is it the gorilla that's really fit?
There's a gorilla. Yes, it is. There's a fit gorilla. There's a gorilla who moved from Australia to Japan in 2007 and has attracted a lot of admirers among young Japanese women who describe him as too handsome. He's referred to as an ikemen, which is slang for handsome guy. I found a slightly creepy story, but let's see, his name's Shabani. I mean, all you need is like a slogan that goes, "Which one of us is really in a cage?" You know, this is another one of them looking, you know... I mean, this is a good-looking gorilla, you know? I dare you to swipe left, right that underneath, and then you're... There's another one of them here, look.
He's got some junk in his trunk.
It's not necessarily sexually attractive, but it would be nice to be held by him.
Like, if I had to have sex with an animal, I'd have a flamingo. I'm a leg man.
Yeah. Do you particularly like when one leg is like up underneath the...
Yeah, it's a bit saucy, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like,
go on,
come and see where my other leg is.
Put one leg up.
I know where your leg is, don't you worry about that. Marshy. Wet.
You ain't got one leg, you slag.
Can I just say we're totally objectifying this gorilla, and I'm loving it.
It's like he's about to go, yes, Sigourney Weaver was wonderful to work with, yeah.
Part of my craft is I'm the weaver of stories, I'm the teller of tales. Kim and Paul's got Rob, Tiff and Andy! Now we play a round called It's Getting Hot in Here, so take out all your jokes. This game involved Tiff and Ramesh, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. The first subject is... magazines. Who wants to come in on that?
OK.
Tiff.
As a woman, most of your life is designed to make you feel a little bit shit. And magazines are responsible for that. You know, magazines like OK, which I look at on the shelves and think, when are they going to stop putting people on the front of that who are quite clearly not OK? Magazines will recommend that you have plastic surgery. That seems to be everywhere. Too much plastic surgery these days. I think that's why they've invented emoticons. Right, they're for women who've had too much plastic surgery, so you can just hold up an iPad and say, I feel happy, I feel sad, I feel like a smiley poo with eyes. But I think the worst thing that magazines do is they perpetuate trends, really bad trends, right? I don't know how you guys feel about vajazzling. But I genuinely believe it is a plot by religious groups to get gay men interested in vaginas. By making them look like disco balls. I told my mum about the vajazzling, right? I said, Mum, they do this thing now where they put Diamante on your downstairs. And my mum just went, vajazzling? In my day, you were lucky if you gave it a wash.
Thank you very much, Chef. OK, that leaves us with Ramesh. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is parenting.
I'm a parent. You know, we had our first child, and our first child is such a lovely kid. You know, he always says please and thank you. He's such a wonderful, wonderful little boy. I said to my wife, do you know what? I think we might have mastered parenting. I think it's just about setting clear boundaries and being consistent. The second one, feral. Right. Like, I love him, but what a prick this kid is. Like, I love him, but what an unacceptable human being. Like, I love him, but I don't like him. You know, that's... Like, I'm going to have to say to him one day, you're a mistake. And not, like, in the way that the contraception went wrong. Like, the decision to have you was a mistake. Sometimes I want him to get hurt. There you go, I said it. I said, now, listen. I don't mean really hurt. I don't mean really hurt, I just mean a little bit. You know, because he doesn't listen, this kid. When I say to him, don't do that, dude, because if you do that, you're going to get hurt. And then he does it, and he doesn't get hurt. That pisses me off, right? Because that is life telling him that I'm full of shit. This kid's running with scissors with no consequences, do you know what I mean?
Very good. Again, the points go to Tips Everton. Come on back, both of you. Our next round is called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So what's going on here?
Has he just realised he's the only black person at Glastonbury?
I'm certainly finding that desert camouflage wear is ineffective in Somerset.
He's rather usually gone for the triple denim, which is a look that no one has gambled with before.
Is it man survives nuclear holocaust by offering oral sex to strangers?
Is he rocking triple denim?
Yeah. Yes, I just said that. I said yes.
Sorry, I've only just realised.
He's literally rocking the triple denim look.
I tell you, I've just noticed something. He's wearing triple denim, isn't he, Dara?
Have you seen that, Dara?
Well, somebody just asked him if he's able to West or not.
And also, I'm not sure this is relevant to it, but I'm almost certain that Kanye West was one of Labour's target seats in the last election.
Is it a brutal moment of self-realisation? Is this the exact moment when he suddenly thinks, am I a dick? I'm not being fair, I don't really know who he is.
Is it Kanye West's controversial headline set at Glastonbury?
It is, of course. Thank you very much, Ramesh. So that's it, right? Yes, this is a picture of Kanye West performing at Glastonbury Festival this weekend, headlining the Pyramid Stage on Saturday night. The rapper told the crowd, "You are now watching the greatest living rock star on the planet." To which the entire crowd went, "My God, who's dead?"
He wasn't the biggest rock star in Somerset.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't the biggest rock star in that field at that time.
Literally.
Let alone the planet, yeah.
He also described himself as the new Warhol, and I think we misheard him a bit there.
130,000 people signed a pledge, didn't they, to try and get him replaced. And there was a moment, wasn't there, when that crane hoisted him above the crowd that I actually thought they'd achieved their aim for a moment.
On the coverage of this, I was kind of on the social media coverage. There was one bloke who said the only way he got through his set, this bloke's set, was when he realised that Kanye West is an anagram of Sweaty Ken.
I bumped into Robert Glastonbury. He was so excited about being there. You should have seen his little face.
So, I agreed to do Glastonbury because it said you're on at 12:50. What I didn't read was AM. I just expected a nice little midday gig, and I was there for 12 hours before I was on. And if you do a poo there, you have to... The toilets, basically the toilets, is scaffold over wheelie bins, and there's a hole over each wheelie bin. You have to take a cup of mud with you. There's bags of mud, and then you do a poo, and you have to pour your mud over your poo. I felt like a cat.
Are you telling me that your cat can hold a cup? That toilet situation is just so you've got scaffolding and you've got wheelie bins underneath.
Yeah, 1/3 of the toilets were kind of essentially a compost heap.
Right.
So they wanted to recycle so they could use it as human waste as it.
Yeah.
So they had people with sand or soil, whatever.
Well, why do you need fertiliser over that? All everyone's having all weekend
farm.
it's cider and kebabs. What are you trying to grow with that? What are they trying to grow? People to go on Jeremy Kyle? It's a joke.
My mum had a house in Sri Lanka, and she had one of those toilets that just go straight... The poops go straight into the ground, and that she had mango trees behind the toilet. The mangoes were absolutely enormous. I've never seen... They were much bigger behind the toilet than they were anywhere else in that whole bit. But my mum didn't allow us to eat them because she said they're poor mangoes. Like, no, we weren't...
My God, if you package them up in Waitrose, middle-class people would... These are poo mangoes. They're the only mangoes I get.
Oh, no! I ordered from Ocado. They've substituted my poo mangoes for shitty beans. That's not fair.
Every time I have a mango, I think of your mum having a poo. Poo mango. It's your fault.
Hold on a second, mate. Hold on a second. I said I took a poo, and now you've made the leap, just brought my mum into the situation.
I assume that she has shits now and
My
again.
mum has never shit in her life, man. How dare you talk like that about my mother?
My mum's ruined mangoes, my dad's ruined baths. Between us, we're killing this country.
Oh, I think we've just scraped off a layer there. Is that a story from your childhood? What's going on?
A couple of weeks ago from the
I see. Oh, right. Don't watch myself.
No, I know. Both the Dalai Lama and Kanye throughout this year, that's always allowing us to play a little game of Dalai Lama or Kanye. Who said it? You have to guess which of the two headliners said this phrase. First one is, I am God's vessel.
Kanye. It's got to be Kanye.
You got Kanye?
Yeah, go for
I'm going for the Dalai Lama.
Being that he may be an incarnation of himself.
I'm going for the cat. If he can hold a cup, he can say that as well.
I'm God's vessel was actually said by Kanye West.
Well done.
Our work is never over.
I think it's Network Rail.
Mr. Lama.
You going for Lama?
Mr. Lama.
Mr. Lama. There you go. So standards here. Our work is never over, of course, is the words of Kanye West. And probably the most difficult one to answer is, I don't know what's better, getting laid or getting paid.
DL, mate.
Just lift up
Spit in your face. I'm Peruvian. I'm the Lama. No, it is, of course, Hugh Dennis. Which England team has made history this week?
This is the women's
Indeed it
football
is.
team, isn't it?
Yeah, now, obviously, we record this on a Tuesday. By the time the show goes out on Thursday, they may or may not have beaten Japan in the semi-final of the World Cup. Either way, they'll be playing at the weekend, either for third or for first. but still...
It's amazing that they've managed to do something that the men's football team have never done, and that is reach the semi-final of the World Cup without crying. So...
They said that's right. It's the first semi-final of a major tournament, and they said this is memories of 1966. But if you look at the semi-final lineup, actually, it's England and USA versus Germany and Japan. That is memories of 1945. That's amazing.
In other news, who or what had an emotional send-off this week?
This was the last episode of Top Gear.
Yes. Well, no, it's not the last episode of Top Gear. It's the last episode of them
Well,
doing
why did
Top
you
Gear.
say yes then?
Because I caught myself and went, you know, it's not that. I, like Shabani, can change my mind occasionally. We didn't do the look-alike of that, did we? No.
You should.
No,
let's see it.
I get the Megabus guy, but I don't get the good-looking gorilla.
Do it again, do it again.
When you do your hand thing, it does look a bit Shabani.
In other news, who or what had an emotional send-off this week?
Well, it was almost the last episode of Top Gear.
I think it was different. Yeah. Did you see it? Did you see it anyway? You know?
It ended on a cliffhanger, didn't it?
It didn't.
Yeah, Quentin Wilson came out of the shower and said it was all a dream.
Now it's finished. Is it Clarkson or May who gets custody of Hammond?
I'm presuming they don't even saw it because I watched everything. I used to quite enjoy the show, but it was at the end they said the two of them. It was just the two of them. Clarkson obviously wasn't there, and they said, "So thank you very much for watching, and good night." And it went to the titles, and it was like silent, and then the words moved up the screen on a black screen silently, and you're going, Jesus, who's dead? We should end that. I didn't know you could end. I didn't know you could do that somber ending. Like when I left The Apprentice last year, I would have demanded that goodbye, and then just like Russian piano music and hundreds of black and white shots of me looking winsome. People saluting as Jeremy Clarkson is lowered onto Netflix. It's ridiculous. At the end of that round, the points go to Ramashu and Miles. Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics and we'll see what our panellists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely greeting cards.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Sorry you're dead. What can you do?
Sorry you're leaving, and sorry to break it to you in such a cowardly fashion.
Happy Father's Day, whoever you are, wherever you are.
Roses are red, violets are red, the greenhouse is red. I think I'm bleeding to death.
At this difficult time, I'm thinking of you, wearing suspenders and a mask.
I saw this and thought of you. Blank inside.
My feelings can't be put into words, although the judge did describe them as inappropriate.
That was a scrape. Congratulations on your circumcision.
Congratulations, you did it. And we'll prove it. The Crown Prosecution Service.
It's a girl, not a woman, which is why you're going to prison.
With deepest sympathies for the loss of your grandmother. / happy housewarming.
You've passed away.
21 years, and this time you'll probably die in prison.
To our darling son, on your 21st birthday, now get the fuck out of our house.
please help me. I'm trapped inside a North Korean card factory. Also, Iron Man says happy 4th birthday.
Roses are red, violets are blue. When you go down on me, please don't chew.
OK, the next topic is things you wouldn't hear on a science documentary.
The dinosaurs were wiped out by a giant asteroid. Silly them for all standing in the same place.
Does it burn anything other than Bunsen?
He named the star after himself, and now we find ourselves looking at Arthur Cockmonster III.
So, it glows in the dark and it has a half-life of 1,000 years. Frankly, I've never done a poo like it.
On today's show, we'll be talking about the Jurassic period, where only dinosaurs and Bruce Forsyth roam the Earth. He's old, isn't he?
For Sarah Palin, it's conclusive proof that man and dinosaur existed together. For everybody else, the Flintstones is just a cartoon.
Next, biology. Why is that gorilla so sexy?
Let the proton see the electron.
Scientists in Loughborough have found the formula to make the perfect cup of tea, which is quite controversial as the grant was for AIDS research.
You've been watching me, Richard Dawkins. Good night and God bless.
See, and the problem with cocaine is it's well Moorish.
Well, we could ask a proper scientist about this, or we could ask Dara Ó Briain.
Hello, my name's Dara Ó Briain. And to try and bring science to the masses, I'm going to appear in a programme with Stephen Hawking wearing a ridiculous hat.
Just enough with the, you know... I love that hat, by the way.
Hello, I'm Dara Ó Briain. And I've got a massive head and a massive brain. But all I get to do in this bit is just press a little button.
Mr. O'Brien, I award you a PhD. Phenomenal head, Dara.
I would just like to say that I think Dara Ó Briain's a legend.
I work with Dara Ó Briain. And today, my experiment is to turn this joke into a P45.
OK, well done, Dinner Ram. Paul's got a roll issue and Miles. And that's the end of the show. This week's winners are Ramesh Ranganathan, Hugh Dennis and Miles Jupp. Commiserations to Andy Parsons, Tiff Stevenson and Rob Beckett. Thanks for watching. I'm actually no, hang on. Yeah, right. Because I didn't know you were allowed to do this. Apparently, you can just do this. Like, we won't be back on again for another week. So, you know, thank you for watching. Good night. Thanks.